the first thing is I'd like to apologize for what I'm about to talk about, because as business owners, I know that we all know what we need to do, and we struggle with it to do it, on a regular, consistent basis. The actual conversation we've just had is a great testimony to the struggles of that. So I want to apologize if I'm going to tell anyone to suck eggs, but back to basics is really what I'm talking about. Very quickly, we know we need to find leads, nurture them, and pull them towards us with all the things that we know a lot about. But they're mostly around, their pain elements. And we probably don't spend enough time on understanding what that real sales process is. Although we understand it, it's not something that can be repeatable by somebody else that can pick it up and run with. We all know that we like to build respect and trust. That's why we get referrals. That's why people respect us. And that's why we make money currently. But we're not doing it to people that don't know us. We know that network marketing is important, and we go along to these events and we become accountable, and we try and speak and share what we do so that others would speak and share with others about us too. And we know that we could ask for the sale. And in fact, actually, the half of selling isn't actually selling, it's asking the questions and then asking, when do we want to get started? And I know that, that's part of closing the sale. It's no specialist area around. It's about asking the right questions and then asking for the order. Funnily enough, you close the sale. And when they've closed the sale, why don't we chuck in a load more stuff and offer them a bit more for it? And thank you. We don't say thank you enough, or we might say thank you. Or do we say thank you for small purchases as well as big purchases? Or just thank you every month? Do we ask someone if they can tell somebody else about what we've done for them? But we tend not to ask them on a regular basis, and we don't realize the right time to ask someone and when the wrong time to ask someone to get us the result that we want. And asking someone for a review, exactly the same as asking someone for a referral. So my first thing is I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I identify all the things that we know we should do that consistently we don't do enough of. But if we were to systemize it, like a great brand making a burger called M, they do it in exactly the same way for each one of their burgers, and they've got the same process. And we plan the year, the month, the sales, and so on, all these things we've spoken about. But you can't ignore one thing. 90% of consumers read online reviews before visiting your business in this current market now, today, mostly because we've all had to go there. And we all have a mistrust in some way of scamming and what's going on the internet. The pandemic has really bring this on, but we can't ignore that online business reviews are really important for people making the decision whether they look at your website or not, or shop or not, or services or not. So rise above the competition. It's essential that we spend time in getting consumer reviews about what we do. It gives us, regardless of whether we're just Damian on his own or he's fighting against an agency, I can compete just as hard with a large agency because I can rank above them by the number of reviews I have.
Yeah.
More reviews that you have actually increases your SEO, your search engine optimizer. Why? Because the words that people use within your reviews will identify key searches that people search on the internet to bring you up. So it becomes really important. Now, we might have multiple products, but we can in some way ask people to give us reviews and give them the words that we want them to talk about, or the words they talk about are exactly what we want them to talk about because they identify what we do. And I've got a little bit more detail in an ebook, which I won't talk about now, but you can download it at your own time after this and read, where it talks about examples of this that really solidify the point. Reviews have unprecedented power and it builds trust. In fact, there are, and I'll come on to some stats where 88% of people would look at as a review just as much as they would as a personal recommendation. This is a good service or product to have. And if you're a local business, the way that Google, you've got national advertising, you've got local. So if I'm local and it's all geolocated, there is what we call the map. You know, you look on Google, there's a map of all the people and where they are. you know, if people talk about you from different towns, from different areas, it drives your local SEO rankings much faster than you would do spending a load of money on SEO, because you're getting the end user to tell everyone else in the world exactly what you do, why you do it, and whether you do it well or bad. Because bad is as good, by the way. You know, and people don't want to do that, but actually bad can be just as good as good. And you can find out more. So I just mentioned that 88% of consumers reviews as much as a personal recommendation. And there are 5 key benefits for using Google reviews. Now, it's not just asking for someone, it's actually putting in front of them the paper, the pen, and the pad. Or before you go, can you just tell us something about this great Google review presentation that I've just done? And I'd just like you to say a couple of words about how you felt after it. Bang, here is the link, do it now for me. So it's fresh. And and the benefits that you get is obviously you're increasing the brand trust online, where there is so much fraud and there is so much mistrust. And you don't have to have really snazzy websites and really cool copy. Really, if someone's saying that this person is absolutely a top one at what they do, and you know they are happy and positive reviews, it really drives that trust. You are increasing online exposure by the words that people use. I touched upon that in my ebook. I talk a little bit more, and I'm going to do this short because I want to drive you to try out the automation that this is going to kick off for you, so that you understand what I mean from a user experience. The feedback loop and the customer intelligence through Google Business Reviews provides you not only Google looking in a very favorable way, but it provides you with instant feedback about whether you are hitting the mark or not. People are providing you with slogans and marketing material by what they say, which you can use, that you don't realize is like it's like a manna from heaven when that comes in properly, and if it comes in regularly. Someone like yourself, Chris, when you're instantly dealing with someone's neck ache and they walk out taller than they were before, is a really powerful time to drive a review. My son, he's just, as I was saying to you, he's just doing massage at the moment, and he said, "Dad, I want a page, and you know, I want to go out and book it." He said, "We can do all that." He said, "I just had this guy, and he just said to me, Robert, I think I can run a marathon now." Perfect. So that in its own, that statement is gold dust to him, but it's gold dust to everybody else who was the same as that individual who gave that for him. And it's well known that the Google reviews convert more customers. The more positive reviews you are, 31% more likely going to buy off you, believe it or not, based upon some of this research. So 92% of users will use local businesses, even if they have 4 stars or more. If someone's above them, if they're local, people will choose you because you're local. You mentioned this point, Chris. And there was a really good guy, he's an hour away, but I prefer this one because he's half an hour. And if I want to rock up, have a coffee and have my head touched to say I'm doing all right, then that's the business for me, even if they were a 3.9 or a 4.2 against someone that was an hour down the road at 5, you make a decision on that. And that probably sounds quite strong with the comments that you just had. Here are 5 things you may not know about Google reviews. Many people do fake reviews. You can report fake reviews, and it's really easy, and Google will take them off. So managing fake reviews, maybe of your competition or other people around that, is a really thing that you can easily manage. For the SEO, it's about quantity actually beats the quality of the review. The number of reviews that you have beat the quality of the reviews that you have often.
Yeah.
Google reviews can help you rank outside your local area. I touched upon that. So if somebody has been with me, like Matthew, and he's in Middlesbrough, he gives me a review. Because he's in Middlesbrough, I may come up when someone's looking for what he said, which was I was a real help to his digital marketing, his digital business that he ran with his courses. If someone was looking for something, like those words that he put in there will be used for me, you know, and bring me up into a listing. And funnily enough, Google filters your reviews. but it doesn't do it very well. What it does is, if you, for example, find that there are more than one review being delivered from a IP address, the same computer, the same phone, same area, you know, someone's trying to spam the reviews from the self, Google will hold on to them and filter those reviews. You can't do that. And, you know, the words and the customer uses, and I touched upon this a minute ago, are the keyword search criteria for the future. So those are 5 things you may not have known about how Google treats reviews, where, you know, there are reviews also in LinkedIn, there are reviews, you know, in Facebook, there are reviews in Yelp. And what you want to try and do is to combine all your reviews. And there are plugins, if you have a WordPress site or a website, where you can take all the reviews from all the different places that you've got, and it puts it in a feed on the website. There are things that you can do to plug in all of those reviews so that they're all collected in one area. Here's an example. Okay, guys, tell me which one stands out to you as someone that you would approach.
That's probably the one.
So the last one.
Yeah.
And for you,
the last one.
Right. Well, the second person is kicking ass. Actually, and they're more important because
he's got 54 reviews.
54, average 4.8, as opposed to 7 at 5. People look in, this is well-known, Amazon, very important. Product lists on Amazon, the ones that will get sold most will be the ones with the highest average review with the largest number of reviews taken.
Yeah.
Top sellers, bang, sealed, don't need to think about it any other way. That's the way you need to think about it. But it's easy how we got driven. What's interesting is that there's no directions to A+ water damage gurus. It's just a website. So where are they? Where are they based? They've had 7. It looks good 5. So, you know, what I'm saying is that when you actually look at it again, here's another one. Accountant in Yeovil. Which one would you choose?
Well, probably the one at the top.
Yeah, and it isn't so much, you know, usually you think the one at the top is the one that's spending money on SEO and so on like that, which often they say. But actually 32 reviews at 4.8, that's the accountants that I'd like to speak to. Yeah. And then you've got Chalmers accountants, 10+ years experience, Magnolia House, Princess Street, whatever, yeah. Near Fit and Furnish. I know exactly where these guys are. No reviews. It makes a massive difference just looking. This is what people do. They look at the map index element and they go through, and people are looking at these particular things. These are the numbers that make a difference about whether someone's going to contact you or not. Now, I've come to the end of me just touching this, but what I'm going to try and do is this, is I can automate a customer review process which consistently does the same thing for every client that you have. Now, whether it's automatic, like someone buys something from my shop, I know they bought the shop, and so they can be automatically sending a review, or whether they use this a link, like, and I actually manually put in my name and email address into a form, which I could do as a client. So someone's been for a massage with me, I then put their name and email address in, and bang, they end up getting a communication. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this link into, sorry, let me go back one.
In chat.
And I'm going to put this in chat and leave you with one slide open for some questions.